Hello everyone, this is Helios Raven. I tell you how to do it, even if you don't care. And we're wrapping up our in-depth look of the Armada handbook for the Ork battleships. And we're up to the Killboy Ork battleship. The Killboy Ork battleship, looking at the stats of the thing, was basically in front the Slam Blaster with the modification that I was talking about. It had the same stats and it had its where its armaments was a guns battery of 45 centimeters, D6 plus 6, front arc, heavy guns 15 centimeters, strength 6 front arc. It had a dorsal launch bay of fighter bombers at 25 centimeters and assault boats at 30 centimeters, D3 plus 1. And then it was armed on its left side, a guns battery of 30 centimeters, D6 plus 2. And a starboard and a port and a heavy guns battery of 15 centimeters, strength 6, and it had the same on its right side. The major difference is one, it has the heavy guns on its front arc instead of the lances, and instead of getting a D6 plus 6 weapon batteries on its left and right side, it only got plus 2. So basically, they wanted to make the Slam Blaster with the heavy guns instead of the lances and less weapon batteries. Now, and its special orders it may be equipped with torpedo bombers for 30 points, and it may not use the come to new heading rule, and it can swap out its leadership, and on the all-ahead full special rule, it is equipped with a super engine, which allows it to do 4d6 centimeters when making the all-ahead roll instead of the 2d6, which is the normal. And basically, between that and the Slam Blaster, even though this has less weapon batteries on it, I would probably still take it over the Slam Blaster just because it has more weapon batteries. It has the heavy gun batteries on it, which, in my opinion, makes it a much more powerful ship because like I said, the Orks are better at close quarters combat, which this ship is designed for. And yeah, I know it's only one weapon battery that they got rid of, but still, that's a lot of dice you could have been rolling in the close with your weapon battery rolls. And it's just, lances, if they had Eldar lances, then okay, then maybe it'd be better, but they don't. And so I personally just feel like putting the lances on the ship wasn't really worth it. And that was it for the special named Ork vessels that you could only have one of in your army at all times. So you can have one of each of those ships, but you can't have like two Killboy Ork battleships or Slam Blaster Ork battleships. You can only have one of them at any given time. The next and final vessel that they were given was the Ork Hammer class battlecruiser. This was unfortunately a cruiser. They did not give any a model for, so you'd have to kind of create your own to make sure that you can distinguish it between your other ships. It was a cruiser with 10 hit points, speed 20 centimeters, turns 45 degrees, shields 2, front armor 6, side armor 5, turrets 2. It had a POW guns battery with... sorry I keep talking in past tense, I don't know why I do that. POW guns battery, 45 centimeter range, D6 plus 6 strength in the front arc, and you can either have it has a POW... it has a bombardment cannon or POW mounted torpedoes. Range 30. The bombardment cannon was a strength 6. The POW mounted torpedoes is strength 6 plus 2 front arc. It has a dorsal launch bays with fighter bombers and assault boats at squadron size D3 plus 1. It also, on its left side, had port gun batteries, 30 centimeters, strength D6 plus 2. And heavy gun batteries, 15 centimeters, strength 6 on strength 6, and it had the same on its right side. And it had special notes that the Hammer class battleship may upgrade its turrets from 2 to 3 for 10 points. It may have boarding torpedoes for 5 points, at a strength of D6 plus 2, and it may have torpedo bombers for 30 points. Due to its poorly distributed mass, it may not use the come to a new heading rule. The leadership value of the generators can opt to swap the kill. It basically can swap out its leadership as well for another vessel. And special rule is the POW launchers commonly seen on the Hammer Cruiser were originally intended to satisfy the intense desire of a tyrant Ork Osgore Arm Ripper to have both torpedoes and big guns on the front of his ship. The Garzogs, who decided to help fix the situation, rigged up parts of the Nova Cannon conduits to the big tubular launchers that could either fire torpedoes or heavy bombardment shells. The upshot of this is that the Hammer Cruiser can either fire torpedoes or use the bombardment cannon in a turn if the launchers are loaded at the time. But the launchers can only be used if they are loaded using reload ordnance special order after each shot. Now, so basically what this means is you can either fire your bombardment cannon or your POW-mounted torpedoes, but to fire either one of them, you have to use the reload ordnance. So if you fire the bombardment cannon, next turn you have to roll reload ordnance to fire torpedoes or bombardment cannon again. If you fire the torpedoes, you have to reload ordnance to fire the torpedoes again or the bombardment cannon, is what they're saying. In general, it's a pretty decent cruiser. If I didn't want to have a fancy ship, if I just wanted a plain ship, no special named vessel or anything like that, I'd take it. It's a nice vessel. It's not as good as the specially named vessels, except for specially named vessels, but if you're not trying to go something fancy or something, and you just want a plain vessel and make up your own stuff, then you don't want to say, it's this, you just want a different cruiser, it's definitely worth picking up. I don't see any reason why I wouldn't use the Hammer class battle cruiser. I think it definitely is worth its points. It has a lot of nice heavy firepower, plus it's got some ordnance, which is really good. And that is basically it. We have finished with the Orks in Battlefleet Gothic, and tune into my next episode, which is going to be final thoughts on the force as a whole. So until next time, this is Helios Raven signing off.